How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of AngelsBobs Plus. For a second I was going to say episode of RimWorld, but no, it's episode of AngelsBobs Plus here in Factorio, episode 84. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. Leave a like, comment, and all those fun things. So, in the last episode, we talked about direct ore sorting, and we finished getting ourselves the mineral catalyst we need. As you can see, we've already stockpiled 13,000. So now what I'm going ahead and doing is planning out our area. So I decided on up here, kind of in the northwest in this area, and then I'm just going through and make sure all the connections are good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route the different catalyst types on the bottom, and then the actual ore and the other things up top, and then the outputs up top as well. So how we're going to do the outputs is, so because there's 6, we can either do it like this and rows of 6 and then just use red underground, which is probably what we'll do because we'll need high input anyway. And rather high throughput in order to maintain any sort of actual output level, but for now we'll just use yellow where we can. It isn't necessarily scalable because we will limit ourselves by space, but I think it will be fine. So yeah, really all I'm doing right now is just getting a basic input-output setup. Now we aren't going to do any sort of warehousing in this area that you might normally see me do. Part of that's just because we don't really need it. You could do it, but like I said, you don't really need it to function. Or at least, you don't need it to get this setup going. So I'm just doing 5 ore sorters. There's no particular reason, but 4 of them are going to produce 20 copper ore per second, which is almost a red belt. It's over a full yellow belt, but technically if you wanted, you could scale this to almost fill up a full red belt, or even go over by a little bit. But I didn't opt for that. Again, partially because I don't see the need to do that right now. If you want to, go for it. By all means. If you really want to squeeze that max tileage, definitely go for it. But because I'm going to be building on the top side and on the bottom side, I'm going to be hemmed in. But I will allow for a second one of these to be placed right next to it. So there'll be 2 copper and then 2 iron. And then so they'll run on these belts up here. I don't know, perhaps I'll do something. Allow extra space. We'll see. Once I go and put in the other one. So this is going to be the output. The output can just go here. Yeah, that's fine. And then the other output will go on the top one. Okay, so there's definitely quite a lot we have to set up here. So these are the bottom 4, and then the top. I know it looks like a lot, but really it isn't. And then these 3 right here are for the other ore. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to leave a gap of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so then these are going to be the massive tiered ones. So basically all the tier 1 ore is going to be here, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. We're not actually going to need all 6 lands for the tier 4, because like I said previously, we only need about 2 of them to be the tier 4. So we're not going to need all of these lanes, but they will be pre-allocated just in case we We need them. What's supposed to be on this belt that is no longer on this belt? Rubyite. Why is no rubyite showing up? Figure while I'm over here, let's go investigate. It does not have power. Because I disconnected it at some point. Probably in one of the episodes. More than likely whenever I built that. Oh well. Nobody saw that. See nothing, say nothing, I guess. Anyway, back to over here. So, because we need to get the copper, we need crushed stereotype and crushed chrome. Well, that's not too terrible. So let's go up here. I'm actually quite curious how much what belts here are we gonna need for this? So if we're doing by factory, we have 5. Pretty much half a red belt. Okay, so we are gonna have to upgrade this to red underground. So let's go ahead and do that then. Then we will have to upgrade those as well. To maintain, to make sure we have enough. There we go. I'll just do something like that as well. Okay. So now, the way these are going to work is they're going to be in the same order that we have here. Similar order. More than likely, it's going to be crotiniums, chevolites. Basically, think of it as this horizontal, but then flipped vertically. So the crotinium will be on the bottom, then follow chevolite, then rubyite, bombonium, stereotype, and sapphirite finally on the top one. So we need crotinium and stereotype right here. So we need this guy and this guy. And then I do happen to have enough. Awesome. So we'll do something like that. And then something like that. And then something like that. Awesome. And then, of course, you can do any order of things you need. And then, of course, we'll add the underground where they need to be, but for now, that's fine. Alright, so now the next component we need to go ahead and do is get ourselves the crushed ore, and how we're going to do that is going to be a little bit of a problem. Well, I don't want to say it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a creative solution. So taking our measuring device here. Okay, good, we'll actually have enough room. Awesome. So let's go ahead and at least get those 6 outflowing. We are going to have... So we don't have all the fast loaders we'll need, and certainly we're not going to have all the underground we need, but again, temporarily, we should have enough to do what we need to do. And eventually, yeah, we'll come back and we'll upgrade it after the fact. The only unfortunate part is we don't really have any extra crotinium because crotinium trains are almost full. Right? 40 out of 40. Which ones are still filling up? Oh, you know what? They're probably filling up that last row right now. Yeah, that one's not quite full. Yeah, so this train down here should come over here and fill that up. Anyway, so let's go ahead and apply the components we know we need. Well, in the order we know. I don't think loaders used to show what they outputted. I don't think they did. I think that's new. We're gonna have to grab red underground though in order to be able to make it over these warehouses. Well, rather past the warehouses. Let's do the yellow ones for now, then we'll come back and upgrade later. That, and that. Cool. We just don't want to pick up anything accidentally. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and head over to grab all the underground we need. So it looks like we just need bronze and some steel gear wheels. So let's head over to the steel gear wheel area, grab some gears, and then head to where our bronze is and grab some of that. So that way we can use it. Awesome. So now we have plenty of gear wheels, so let's go find... these two top iron things aren't working because I don't have them plugged in. And I don't have a vehicle, so let's go ahead and make another one of those. Honestly, let's just make 5 more. So that way, eventually when we play the Where's Waldo with all the damn cars I've left all over the factory. Hope you guys have been keeping track of them. Because I certainly haven't. I mean, we spot probably at least 1, maybe 2 every episode, but I don't bother picking them up, partially out of laziness and because, you know, we're going to do the scavenger hunt for them. So let's head back up top now that we have that. Going to make a bunch of these underground. What do I need for splitters? Oh, I need circuits. Yeah. Well, they're not mission critical. And although, yes, they would be useful for improving the actual throughput, as it would remove the bottleneck of being a yellow transport item versus a same tier of red, it doesn't... The yellow belt doesn't prevent this from functioning, right? In the same way that it doesn't... So we want red belt everywhere in this process that we're currently working on, just to maintain the actual throughput we need of half a red belt. However, for now, the yellow belt in this capacity is fine. It's once we start putting it on, or rather putting the ore on actual, not transport belts, but like production lines, that we'll need the red to make sure we can maintain enough. Because we need 15 items per second, basically, which is basically a full yellow belt. Well, it's like 14 and some change. Awesome. And then we'll just add ourselves a little bit of a stepping staircase when it comes to these, like that. And then something like that. Awesome. So let's go ahead and drag this all the way down, just so that way we can go ahead and get everything connected up. And nice and flowing, nice little rainbow happening, which is cool. I will say, Bob's Angels made a really nice looking design with this. I like the choice. Alright, and so that doesn't flow. So now the question is, who gets undergrounded? The way I determine what belts get undergrounded is what I'll do is anything that's a temporary thing I underground, and the things that are more permanent don't get undergrounded. Now obviously sometimes that rule is not followed specifically and it is broken quite often. I'm content with not following it in our case. So let's bring that over. I'll do something like that. And then like that. Awesome. Let's go ahead and connect everything up. And then pull out our nanobots to finish the job. And remember, you can click and then hover over with picker. And it will do 2 lines at once. You can also increase your brush belt size. Or brush size, and then that allows you to do the multi. Alright, hopefully we got it correct. Yes, and the chromtinium should be... Yep, here it is. I say that train should have unloaded by now. And then the other train is... almost full, but not quite. Okay, so that's gonna now come in. Well, that's all... Oh, here's the other car. I'll pick this one up because this one's in the active area that I'm in. So now that we have that going in, we'll go ahead and connect it. Connect it. Like that. Awesome. And so now we just need to connect... Well, the crushed chromtinium will slowly, eventually trickle over onto the side. However, now the next component we need to do is connect these mineral catalysts up, which we are producing down in the southeast. And remember, these are from the last episode of us smelting. Well, not really smelting, but melting stone and slag, and then the mineral sludge, and the mineral sludge gets, or not the mineral sludge, it turns into slag slurry that we then purify. Well, I don't want to say we purify, but we basically dilute it and then filter it, and then that gives us the mineral sludge, which we then use to turn into these catalysts, which we are now stockpiling a total of 25,000 plus and growing. Alright, so now let's go ahead and kind of come up with an idea for how... So if we want 1 full red belt of copper, right, as our output, so it's already at 0.7. Well, if we go to 0.6, we can. Okay, so we need 7 total. Okay, well, we can manage that. We'll just do 7 then. Well, if I could craft 7, we would. So what I'll do is I'll actually plan for the eventual addition of 2 more. But because I don't have 2 more, we will just pretend that they're here for now. Yep. Cool. So we'll just do that. Awesome. Okay, so then what we'll do in the meantime is this will allow us to set up. Alright, so there's the 3 catalysts we'll need. And again, just like some of the other ores, we don't need all of them in all of the productions. So they're generally, if I remember this correctly, we need the mineral catalyst for some of the like lower tier ones. And then it transitions into the crystal catalyst, and then for the like very weird specialized ones, we need the hybrid catalyst for. So for instance, refining uranium, if we want to refine tungsten, we need it, thorium, we need it, cobalt, we need it, gold, titanium, and then fluoride and some of these other ones, we need just the crystal. And then obviously for iron, copper, and tin, pretty much, yeah, tin, lead, copper, and iron, we can use the mineral catalyst for. So it's one of those kind of simple, nuanced things that we're able to still use, even though it's kind of niche and nuanced. But let's go ahead and connect all power up. Actually connect, maybe. So let's go ahead and connect all that up. Eventually these miners won't be here and these power poles will more than likely move, but that's a story slash talk another time. Actually, I should probably check power. Not bad. I mean, not great, but not bad. Let's see. We are starting to actually build up more solar panels. Oh, geez. 727, yeah. So as you can see, that extra copper we're getting, although it doesn't look like a whole lot, all the bus is full up until this point right here for the circuits, which is good. And then, yeah, I mean, we are in fact getting enough. Well, again, I don't want to say we're getting enough, but we are getting more circuits than I would have expected. Part of that is due to how we need transistors, but that requires whatever's being made here. Which requires plastic, which somehow shut down. Okay. That's something we'll have to take a look at. Probably in between episodes, maybe even next episode. But in the meantime, we now have to figure out how to get mineral catalyst from down over here in the bottom right, all the way up to where I am. And honestly, the easiest way I think is just going to be to route it up here and then over. There's no special way of doing it, I don't think, other than just that. Because otherwise it's either going to be either too lengthy or just straight up not good in terms of both appearance and just usefulness, because we'll either come in at a weird angle or just, well, I say weird angle, but just weird direction. So we need 3. And we'll leave our standard 2. Alright, awesome. I'll go like that on that. Well, I think we'll call it here, and then in between episodes, I'll go ahead and get all this hooked up, and then in the next episode, we'll go over kind of the design that we're going to use for kind of the input-output. I mean, I know we've kind of touched on it this episode, but I'll go a little bit more in depth as to some of those components of the direct ore sorting, and then we'll also look at the signals we'll be doing when we hook it up here, and how we want to prioritize one over the other, and things like that. And then we'll also look at the plastic as well and try to come up with a solution into an episode. So with that, all that, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys did, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help with the channel. Also really means a lot to me. On that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys later. Have a good one.